Hey guys, we're back. This is episode 1 and today we're going to be creating a film randomizer. So without further ado, let's go. So, for those of you who don't know, Netflix released the Studio Ghibli films on their platform a couple of months ago. And for someone who's new to the films, they may be wondering which film to watch first. And you could watch it in order. I think Castle in the Sky was the first Ghibli film, but I thought, why don't I create a randomizer in which you press a button and a film is chosen for you and you can watch that. So that's what we'll be doing today. The project will be nice and simple. It will be built in Java, very quick. I'll be explaining a few things. Essentially, it is a randomizer, so you could use it for many other things as well, but today we'll just use it for the Ghibli films. So without any further ado, let's go. Hey guys, we're on here now. So the first thing we are going to do is to create a project. So I use an IDE which is called IntelliJ. What an IDE is stands for an integrated development environment, and it's basically a place that allows you to code. Generally they're tailored to certain languages, so IntelliJ is tailored to Java. It's developed by JetBrains, I think, and generally you have to pay for it, but if you're a student you can access the services. So I'm gonna open it up now. Here we go. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is create a new project. Give it time. Oh, it's open on this screen side. So for this, you can just leave it as it is. We're on Java, that's all we need. Java 11. It doesn't matter what version you're on, to be honest. Next, project name, we're gonna call it Film Randomiser. There we go. Perfect. Finish. There we go. Okay, nice and fast. So, this src file, the source, this is where we're gonna add our classes. So I'm gonna right click, new, Java class, and we're gonna call it Film Randomizer, why not? There we go. So this is an example of a class in Java. Java is a object-oriented language. That means that we have classes, and from these classes we can create objects, and these objects represent entities. So we can, for example here, we are creating a film randomizer class, and we can then create film randomizer objects. Another example would be you have a student class in which you can have objects which represent students, and these students can have properties such as their name and what grade they're in, whether they passed all the exams or not. And then you can have methods, and methods allow you to perform actions on objects such as take tests. So right now we're a film randomizer class. The first thing we're going to do is to create a main method. In Java, the main method is the entrance into the program. So every program has a main method, and it's basically saying if this program was to run, then the code inside this main method is what I want to be executed. This is the signature of the main method, and just to test that it works, we can do this is the statement which allows you to print to the console in Java, and we'll just do a simple hello world, and then we can just press this button here to run, and hopefully at the bottom hello world is printed. There we go. So we know that this method is correct. The next thing to do is to obtain the list of films. I found a website, there we go, with the title of the film and the year. So quite interestingly actually, as I said before, Java, you can create classes and store objects. So we can create a class called film in which we will store the title of the film, and you know what, just for the sake of it, we can even store the year in which the film came out. So let's get to doing that. I'm going to src, right click, new, Java class, film, and this class is going to have two fields, private string to store the title of the film, and private forgive me, int to store the year in which the film came out. We're going to give it a constructor. So a constructor allows you to create the object. So the constructor is called when the object is created, and we can set up the object using the constructor. So I'm going to write public film, so we can access it from another class. So public film, we're going to pass in what we want for the title to be called, string, sorry, not string, int for the year, and that's our constructor. This allows us to reference properties inside the class. So this.title equals title, and this.year. So we pass arguments into the constructor called film of this class. These arguments are saved in these parameters, and these parameters are assigned to the field variables of the class, which are, so this is the same as this, and this allows the information to be stored as an object of this class called film. So we've created our film class. Is that all we need? Yes, I think that is all we need. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to go back to our film randomizer now, and as a quick test, we're just going to create a film object. So to create an object in Java, you use the new keyword. So I'm going to do film. So I state the name of the class I'm going to use, label the name of my object, I'm going to call it film for simplicity, equals new film. And here it's expecting a title and a year. So I'm just going to give it title, and year will be 2020. This should have created a film object. To test that, we can print again, and inside here we can just do film. NANI? I forgot to add my getters and setters. So what getters and setters are, they allow us to access these fields outside of the class. The title, I can do public void get title, and then I want to return the title. Shouldn't be void, should be string. Quick explanation. String is the data type at which we are going to return. We're going to return title, which is of type string. If we are returning nothing, then this will be void instead. I'm going to add a setter now. So public set void, because we're not returning anything, set title. We're going to put string title, and inside here we're going to go this.title equals title. So whatever I pass in here is going to be assigned to this field. That's just how to create a getter, or more formally a accessor method, and a setter, or more formally a mutator method. And I'm just going to generate the other one for year. There we go. It's nice and simple, exactly the same as how we've done it here. Year will return an int, as I was saying, and set year will set the year. And now that we have our accessor methods and mutator methods, we can go back to here, and I can say get title, and this should print whatever value we've passed here. So let's run it. So in fact we should expect it to print hello world and also the word title. Hello world and title. Perfect. So now we can just go ahead and add all the films in. Back to the website. First film we see is Castle in the Sky for the title. Film year 1986. So let's create a film. I'm gonna call it film 2. Generally you should give objects names, proper names, but for the sake of adding one film, I'm going to call it film 2, and then I'm going to make some amendments, and then you'll see where the name won't really matter. So film 2 equals new film, The name is Castle in the Sky, Castle in the Sky, and the year was 1986. Oops, wow. Wow. Okay, so now let's print Castle in the Sky's title, and let's print its year as well. There we go. Let's come out. Let's get rid of Hello World. We don't need it anymore, do we? So let's print that, run that. Castle in the Sky 1986. Rather than type it out, you can copy and paste text from the website, but you have to be careful though, because sometimes you may get some unknown characters, and you may find there's been times where you find errors in your code. Everything may look nice, but it's because whatever you've copy and pasted has somehow messed up the IDE. So I'll just take heed when you copy and pasting things. So this looks fine. It prints Castle in the Sky 1986, and the only thing to do now is add the rest of the films. So what I'm going to do is add a list of films, a list of film objects, and then I'm going to choose a random film object from this list. So what I'm going to do is to add a list which will store our film objects, private, and this list will be part of the film randomizer class as a field variable. Private array list. It's going to hold film objects, and we're just going to call it film list. There we go. So right now when we create a film list, it is pointing to null. We need to actually create an object using the new keyword. So in our film randomizer class, we're going to give it a constructor like we did with the film class. So we're going to do public film randomizer. We're going to create an empty constructor, and we're just going to assign this film list. So we're just going to say film list equals new array list of type film. So now let's do some refactoring. So we have assigned the film list an object using the new keyword. So now it will no longer be pointing to null and cause null errors. So now that we have assigned the film list a object using the new keyword, we can then create some methods to add. So rather than this main method, you generally don't put code in the main method like this, you generally call methods. So we're going to create a method that will add all the films to this list. So let's call it public, let's make it private actually, because we're only going to be using it in this class. So public void, and we're going to call it populate film collection. So inside here we're going to have our film list, and then we're just going to add film objects to it, such as Castle in the Sky. So let's do that. So rather than here where we create a film object and store it in a variable called film, we can just use the new keyword by itself, and then we can put it straight into here. And that's why earlier on it didn't matter that we used film 2 here, because we're just going to ignore storing the film inside a variable and add it straight to the list like so. So I'm going to fast forward and add the rest of the films. So I've added the rest of the films. I thought I should add them in the year that they came out, just for simplicity. And I've also added the comments. Also could always comment your code if it can be commented. So this comment just shows that the following lines of code just add the films to the film list. Nice and simple. And what we can then do is get rid of this now. We no longer need this. We can create a film randomizer object, and then I can call this populate film collection method if I wanted to test whether the films were successfully added to the list. I can do film randomizer dot first let's just do getter. There we go, get film list. We can do film randomizer dot get film list dot, and this gives me the film list object, which is this. I can then do get, and let's say I want the 5th film, the 6th film in the list. I can then get its title, and let's say I wanted to print this, I can just do there and put this inside this print statement. So this should print the 6th film in the list. 0 in that space, and that's why it starts from 0. So Porco Rosso 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Porco Rosso. Perfect. So the films have been added to the list. The next thing to do is to figure out how we will randomly choose a film from the list. So let's create a method called getRandomFilm. And to get a random film from the list, what we essentially are going to do is, as we did up here where we chose index 5, we're going to choose a random index, and that should give us a random film in the list. So let's get rid of this one, no longer need it. And we're going to do getRandomFilm. We're going to create a random object, and this comes from the random class. So this creates a random object. Okay, let's create a variable to store our random number. So let's just do store, and we're going to do random number equals random dot next int. There we go. So this next int by itself will give us any random number. So to test that, let's print random number, and then let's call this method when we create our object in the main method, getRandomFilm, and let's run it. There, random number. But we don't have that amount of films, Studio Ghibli film, so we need to put the films in the range of the size of the list. So what we're going to do in here is put film list dot size -1. And what this -1 will do, it will allow us not to go past the size of the list. If there's 20 films in the list and we say give us 21, we will get an index out of bounds exception because there's not that many items in that list. I've just made the code a little bit bigger, guys. I just thought it might be more easy to see. But yes, so we've taken away 1 from the size of the list. Make sure we don't go over. So let's test that works. We just call the run method. 10, perfect. 19, perfect. And so on and so forth. But I'm going to change that so we know exactly what it's doing. And then use this number to get a random film object from the list. So we're going to do film. I'm going to call it random film list dot get a film object at the index of the random number. So we're going to say get, and then we're just going to print the random film dot the title. So print, and hopefully now when we press run, it should give us a film name. Spirited Away, my favorite movie. Next, Arrietty, Howl's Moving Castle. And with that, guys, as simple as that. So to roll through everything again, first create the main method, the entrance to the program. Inside we create an object of this class, the film randomizer class. We're calling the populate film collection method. This adds film objects to the film list, and then we call getRandomFilm, and this generates a random number that returns to us a film at that random index, and we just print the title of that film. We have an array list to store our films and our film class, which allows us to set the title of the year of the film. And that's it, guys, as simple as that. But we can extend this. I don't know whether you guys want me to do a video on that. We could add a boolean such as is watched, and whether you've watched the film or not, you can just set that boolean. So there's many ways to extend it, but this has been a very simple tutorial. Hopefully we've added a bunch of films to the list and chosen a random film from the list. Okay, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this quick tutorial, and if you want to see more, then let me know. But yeah, we can extend this. We can create an Android app which generates a random film for us, probably using the exact same logic, to be honest. We just gotta add a bit more Android-y stuff, so to speak. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed this, leave a like and leave some comments as well if you want to suggest any other ideas. Okay, see you later, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed that tutorial and learned something. And if you want to see more, episode 2, like and subscribe. And throw some comments in there as well, guys. See you.